What is up, you guys? Welcome back to our channel. I'm so excited to record today's video. I've actually kind of tried over and over again to start this video, and I'm having a little bit of a hard time, so hopefully this one is the one that does it for us, okay? So, as I have previously stated, our Sunday uploads from here on out will be dedicated to our Bachelor recaps, and I'm so pumped about that. This video is going to be the episode 5 recap, and gosh, wow, did so many things happen in that episode. Guys, I even took notes, okay? Because I wanted to be as thorough as possible, considering the fact that this is the first recap we've done that's dedicated completely to only one episode. So, and just like all the other episodes, this one has been just as much of a dumpster fire as all of the other ones. So let's just go ahead and get right into it. Okay, I've got my makeup on, I've got jeans on, okay? I even showered yesterday, so let's get right into this. I'm so excited. So, to start the episode, we get the kind of like really dramatic walk by between the new girls and the OGs is what they call themselves. And it's very dramatic. It's like Victoria and Kit and then Brittany and someone else, and they walk by each other, and it's supposed to create this very us versus them dramatic intro to the episode. And man, is it very telling of what's going to happen. So, if you recall, at the end of episode 4, Katie had confronted Matt about the toxicity and drama in the house and tells him that there has been a rumor started about one of the girls that could potentially ruin her life. So, what happens? After the little walk-by scene, we get kind of like a shot of all of the girls getting ready for the cocktail party just before the rose ceremony, and they are all talking about the new girls being, you know, awful and disgusting. MJ refers to them as the JV and the OGs are the varsity. Basically, everyone is still projecting all of their anger onto the new girls as if they still haven't realized that it was actually the producers doing. So, OGs as you call yourselves,
you're projecting your anger onto the wrong people.
Anyways, moving on. So we get to the cocktail party, and here's what happens. Victoria starts right away saying that she is not worried because she feels very strongly about the connection that her and Matt share. And I just want to know, Victoria, what show are you watching? Because I haven't seen that. I mean, I know that like there's a lot of editing that goes into making this show, so it's possible that you guys have had some really wonderful and loving time together, but we haven't seen that, and you're a bully. Anyways, moving on. So Anna says that she actually feels as though she is above some of the other girls, and she feels very strongly that she is going to get a rose because unlike previous weeks, she doesn't feel as if she's falling behind. That is very much a foreshadowing into what happens next. So Matt comes in and he gives his little speech, his little toast about how he is not going to stand for the bullying. He knows what's going on in the house and he does not agree with it. And he even states, and I quote, "If one woman has to tear other women down in order to make herself look better, then that woman is not going to be his wife because he doesn't want a wife like that." Okay, I said and I quote, but I think I paraphrased because I didn't write down the exact quote. Anyways, so Matt pulls aside Brittany and sits down with her and kind of wants to know her side of things, wants to see how she's doing, and she just kind of like takes like a deep exhale and she tells him like, "Everyone's talking about me, they think I'm an escort, Anna approached me, blah blah blah." Then he says like, "I know that it's a rumor, I know that it's a lie, and I'm so sorry that you're going through this," and you can just tell that she feels so much relief. Then cut away to like Anna is basically freaking out and she's like,
"I want to know who talked to him. I can't believe that this is happening."
She knows that because he pulled aside Brittany that she's going to be next, and that's what happened. Matt comes out and he pulls Anna aside, and Anna starts playing the victim, saying that she knows that it was a mistake, it was very out of character of her and very shallow of her to do. However, all that being said, Matt still says, "I know you're not a horrible person, but I have a responsibility to the women in the house to create this safe space, and I have to send you home." And so Anna goes home, and then once all the women see that Anna has been sent home, they all start panicking and they start talking to the new girls like,
"I don't think that the house is toxic. I feel like bullying is a very strong word. Do you guys feel like that's what's happening?"
And then of course all the new girls are like, "Yes, of course that's how we feel. You guys are the worst." That's not what they said, but they basically said, yes, the situation for us has sucked. Then immediately all of the new girls start apologizing. Literally everyone in the house. We keep getting random shots of all the different girls who are in the house just apologizing to the new girls. And honestly, it's a little ridiculous. Like, good on you for apologizing, but we can't tell now who's being sincere and who's just saying it to save their own butts. Anyways, so Matt pulls aside Ryan, and she's one of the new girls, and asks her kind of like how she's doing, how she's feeling about all this us versus them mentality. And Ryan basically just starts speaking the truth and starts saying, like, here's what's going on. Victoria is very toxic. She is one of the main bullies in the house, and tells him an encounter that she had with Victoria, where Victoria basically said that Ryan is a hoe because she is a dancer. And she started crying. She felt awful that someone would ever say that about her. And Matt, you can tell, is just very upset. So after Matt and Ryan's one-on-one time, Ryan's like sitting out in the group with all the other girls, and Victoria asks her, what did you talk about with Matt? And Ryan straight up tells Victoria the truth. She says, I told him about our encounter where you called me a hoe. I told him that you are the root of a lot of the bullying in the house. And you just see Victoria's face. She goes into like a blind rage, and she calls Ryan a loser, I think. I don't even know. The whole night was basically a huge montage of Victoria saying the most wild things. So she says that she's literally the most perfect person in the house to be his wife. Literally. And then she goes to talk to Matt. She says, hey, can I have some time to sit down with you? And so she pulls Matt aside, and they have some one-on-one time, and Matt tells her everything that he has heard and about how Katie is the one that came forward about the whole bullying in the house at the beginning. And Victoria tells Matt, like,
oh, the whole hoe thing was completely taken out of context. Like, that wasn't even what happened. You don't understand.
And he says, in what situation would be calling someone a hoe acceptable? I don't think Victoria really understands her actions. And here's why I say that. Like I said, we get a whole montage of Victoria saying the most wild things. And some of the things that she says are that she is a joy and the girls are going to miss me because I bring so much joy to them. I'm literally the most perfect person to be Matt's wife. I literally don't think she understands that what she is saying and doing in the house is so wild and so toxic, and that she is a bully, basically. So after that whole like encounter between her and Matt, we just see like cameras constantly cutting away to her because she is like running around the house and crying and says she's going to be sick. She tells a producer that she's taking this so seriously, more seriously than anyone else in the house. And then 2 seconds later, she says, I'm going to leave.
I'm 2 seconds away from leaving and not dealing with this anymore.
So in the midst of that, Chris Harrison comes forward and he says that Matt is ending the cocktail party because he knows what he wants to do. And so they're just going to go straight into the rose ceremony. So we go straight into the rose ceremony, and he gives out the first 2 roses, and they go to Brittany and Ryan, which is very telling of like this, how he stands on this whole situation, if you ask me. Oh, and I wrote down a quote that Victoria had said. So during the rose ceremony, they're constantly getting cutaways of girls talking, and this one was basically all Victoria talking. And one of the things that she says is,
does he want a wife that's constantly creating drama, or a wife like me?
Again, I ask, Victoria, what show are you watching? I'm very confused. Anyway, so the rose ceremony ends and we say goodbye to Catalina, Mari, Lauren, and Victoria. Yes, that is right. He sent Victoria home. And of course, that led to just a complete breakdown on Victoria's behalf. She says, why would I hug him? She refused to hug him after everything. And she asks one of the producers, why would I hug him? She then says that she's never going to date another Matt again. But anyway, so she tells Matt, as she's leaving, and because she didn't get a rose, she tells Matt, I feel so sorry for you that you would send me home because you believe hearsay over me, or something like that, something along those lines. And it just, whatever. So Victoria leaves, and we get this breath of fresh air because we think that all of the drama has ended. You just wait. So cut to the next day. Chris Harrison walks in to deliver the date card, and he reminds the girls that we're halfway through. Rachel gets the one-on-one. It's a shopping date, and I also wrote down, she is gorgeous. She looked so beautiful on this date. Oh, by the way, we are talking about Rachel. She got the one-on-one. I have seen the articles about things that have come out about her. I'm not going to talk about those. I'm talking just about the show. So she gets the shopping date, and I wrote down PTSD because of Becca and Ari. I'm so funny. If you guys remember on Ari's season, Becca gets the first one-on-one date, and it was a shopping date. So if you guys remember how that season ended, you would know why this gave me so much PTSD and anxiety. But anyways, so they go on this shopping date, and Rachel gets spoiled. She gets a whole bunch of new outfits. Matt says that she's never the first one to run to him, never the loudest one in the room, and that's one of the things that he loves about her. Oh, at one point, Rachel said, "I've never owned a pair of shoes over $40, to which I wrote, same. Then after the shopping portion, she comes home with all of the bags, and of course all the other girls are jealous, whatever. So then we cut to the evening portion, dinner part of the date. And while on this date, Matt says, "So you told me that you've never been in love, and I kind of want to know why." And Rachel says that she has very low confidence, and she thinks that she projects that onto her relationships. And I just thought that was a very self-aware and cool thing to say, honestly. Then she tells Matt that she's falling in love with him, and he responds that
he is falling in love with her too.
Which is major. So Rachel gets the rose, yay, and we cut to the group date. The group date is a farm date, and honestly, you guys, I was watching Lauren Zima's Roses and Rosé, and she said something that honestly stuck out to me and spoke so much truth to me. She says that there was no comedy, there's no humor or anyone funny on this season, and it really made this date super boring. And I completely agree. I hadn't realized that before she said it. I got so caught up in all of the drama and the bullying and the toxicity that I hadn't realized we don't have like a comedic relief person on this season. There's no Easy, there's no Corinne, there's no John Paul Jones, nobody. So this date was really boring to watch. So we're just gonna skip ahead to the end of the date. So MJ sees Piper kissing Matt and tells the other girls, and everyone realizes that they're dating the same man. That's literally what everyone's saying. They're all like,
it's just so hard because I am just not realizing that we're all dating the same guy.
And to which I say, isn't that what you signed up for? Like, you do know that you signed up to be on The Bachelor. No hate, I'm not trying to be mean, I just don't understand. Anyways, so we go to the evening portion, and we see that he gets like, obviously we know that he probably gets one-on-one time with all of the girls during the evening portion of the date, but we see it with Chelsea, Abigail, Michelle, and MJ. So I think it's after Michelle's like one-on-one time with Matt, we get a cutaway of Matt saying that, like, you know, the cocktail party before the rose ceremony last week was supposed to be the end of the drama, and so he wanted to kind of nip that in the bud. But there was one other person in the house who he has heard rumors of being at the bottom of the drama, and so he kind of wanted to deal with it and get it out of the way, and that person was MJ. And so I think all of us as the viewers can agree that MJ has very much been a part of the drama, and it has been very frustrating to watch her constantly call the newbies JV over and over and over again, which is part of what we get into. So anyways, Matt pulls MJ aside and says that he has heard rumors that she is basically the antagonist of the house, and she gets very upset because she feels that she leads by example, which she says 100 times in this episode, and she feels very strongly that she is very much not one of the bullies in the house, and so that was annoying. And then Matt gets stolen by one of the other girls, and MJ has to go back out and sit with the rest of the group, and so she says very aggressively that the floor is open to anyone who wants to talk about what they may have said to Matt to make her the antagonist of the house. Then Jasenia steps up. Oh boy, basically more drama. Jasenia steps up and says, you have said that they are the JV and we are the varsity because we are the OGs. You constantly say that all the time. You are very much a part of the drama in the house, and I just thought he should be aware of it, that's all. We basically don't get to the bottom of this annoying drama. Katie like backs up Jasenia at one point, and it just is all like them talking in circles around each other, and it was very annoying. But then Matt comes out and Abigail gets the rose, and it was wonderful. Then we skip to the next one-on-one date, which is Kit's one-on-one date. And by the way, I wrote in my notes,
Mystic Falls? Vampires?
because we get a glimpse, that happened in another episode too, but we get a glimpse of like the name of the town that they're staying or whatever, and it says Mystic Falls. You guys know I love me some Vampire Diaries, okay? So I had to put that in the video. Mystic Falls, are you kidding me? Anyway, so it's Kit's one-on-one date, and Logan and I had the same question. Is she only just now getting the date? Because most of the time when you get a one-on-one date, it's a day portion and a night portion. But it looks like Kit is only getting a nighttime portion of the date, because her date is that she's gonna go to Matt's house and they're gonna cook dinner together, and that's like the whole gist of the date. But anyways, Kit talks about how much she loves this date because her happy place is in the kitchen with her mom. She tells Matt that she's always been in the public eye because her mom is a very well-known fashion fashion designer. And Matt says that things with Kit are natural and that they're just easygoing and that he really likes Kit. So then at the end of the date, Kit starts getting emotional and tells Matt that she thinks that she's falling in love with him, and then Matt gets all happy and gives her the rose, but he never actually says it back, unlike on Rachel's date where he did. So what's going on there? I will tell you guys, I have no idea who Matt is vibing the most with this season. Obviously, like, we've seen him get one-on-one dates and, you know, he told Rachel that he's falling in love with her, but we don't really know who his frontrunner is. We're getting ready for the next cocktail party before the rose ceremony, and a date card gets delivered. Of course, it is a 2-on-1 date card for MJ and Jasenia. Very annoying. I'm not even really going to talk too much about this. I'm honestly to the point where, yeah, I do side with Jasenia in the fact that MJ has been a bully in the house, but at the same time, I don't think Matt's connection is strong enough with either of them to keep them both. So I just think he should send them both home at this point. I literally wrote, "This is so annoying." At one point, MJ literally says, "I preach harmony and peace." So yeah, we're just not going to talk about that anymore. The episode ends. We don't get to see what happens. That'll be in the beginning of next week's episode, but we do get a preview for the episode, and we see that Katie is being attacked, basically. Serena C is attacking Katie, saying that she is an arsonist and she's the one lighting all the fires in the house. And to that I say, Serena C, you have no idea what you're talking about. Katie is a saint. But I guess we'll have to see next week's episode to know for sure. We also see that Tyler C is going to be there. He's going to do a little guest appearance, which we're very excited about. And we see a sneak peek that this will be the episode that Heather from Colton's season shows up wanting to be a part of the show. More new girls, more new drama. I don't think I can take it anymore. But maybe Heather will be the comedic relief, you guys. Maybe she will bring us some funny moments and some humor. So those are all my thoughts on The Bachelor, you guys. Don't you worry, I will be getting Logan's thoughts on this episode as well, so I'll cut to that right now. All right, babe. So tomorrow is the next episode of The Bachelor. Tell me in 10 words or less your thoughts on the last episode.
Relieving. I have more faith in Matt. The job's not done though.
As far as getting rid of the bullies?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know. I'm ready for like the final 3.
Yeah. That was way more than 10 words. There you go, you guys. That is the complete Bachelor Episode 5 recap, just in time for you guys to watch before watching Episode 6. I'm very excited to see what happens. I'm excited to see who gets sent home, MJ or Jasenia, or both. I still vote both. Thank you so much for watching this video and for supporting these Bachelor recap videos that we do. They're very fun. I have a lot of fun making them, and just even watching The Bachelor in general, as much of a headache as it is. Be sure to like and subscribe on both YouTube and Facebook if you have not done so already, and make sure that you give this video a big thumbs up. Give it a like, because it really supports our channel. And if you're watching this on YouTube, don't you forget to tick the notification bell down below so that you get notified every single time we post a new video. Don't forget to tell a friend, and be sure to tune in next time. Bye!